Hi folks, this is just an introduction to the Great Lakes and Southern Railway in N scale. My name is Michael Broshears. As far as an introduction goes, I've been into N scale modeling since approximately around 1968. A lot of stuff has happened over the years. I've been into the hobby, out for a while. Spent 6 years in the Navy and submarine service. Took some of my N scale with me out to sea, and on a few dives, I actually set up a small loop on a workbench and run some N scale. Quite possibly the deepest running N scale trains in the world. Although I cannot tell you how deep that was, nor where exactly it was, but nonetheless, I know, how deep it was. So there's not too many people that may be able to refute this. But back to the Great Lakes and Southern. As far as myself, I have approximately 800 square feet in my basement. Gotten rid of everything in the basement that is possibly a distraction or takes up space. Got to have the furnace and the air conditioning here in central Illinois, so I can't really get rid of that. Considered on-demand water heater, possibly somewhere else other than the basement, but I have currently one complete level, and I have a nearly complete lower level, and basically a started portion of a third upper level. So what I intend to do is give you a little bit of a video tour of the layout. Hi again, folks. I guess in my introduction it was pretty brief. My modeling is actually it's a freelance road, the Great Lakes and Southern. It in my world, I see it as having taken over the Rock Island Railroad in Peoria, Illinois, and for the most part, everything else is here that should be here. In my 800 square feet, what I have modeled so far is basically Peoria. So I start out in the north end of Peoria, and I run south to basically the south end of Peoria. Then I extend into Bartonville, which is just a matter of just next door, and then on to Mapleton, Illinois. So the actual length or distance is probably in the 10, 12 actual miles for what my entire layout covers. Currently, my lower level is actually going to be a southern extension out of the Mapleton area, Peoria area. Intentions are to run to Havana and then on to Beardstown, Illinois. And then on my upper level, what currently I have about 12 to 15 feet modeled is the former Rock Island branch that goes up into Peoria Heights. So I have Pabst Brewery is the main industry up there, and I have Continental Can, modeled as Kerry Can Company. And I may have a few other minor industries in that area. But as you continue around on the third and uppermost level, it's basically a northern route out of Peoria. So again, following on the Rock Island. So I attempt to go up to Bureau, Illinois, or say Ottawa, Illinois. So that's kind of where I'm at this point. So thanks again for at least listening to this brief description. And I will go on to doing some video tour. Thank you. At the top of this helix here, this is what I call my Mapleton room. I have my third and uppermost level basically running to the Peoria Heights industrial locations. And when you get into Peoria Heights, the biggest industry that was up there was Pabst Blue Ribbon Brewing. So here is a slow panning for Pabst Blue Ribbon. And this industry, along with here at the end, this is the Continental Can, which supplied cans to Pabst Blue Ribbon. This portion here would be for grain, or actually grits, that they've taken in various processing portions. The brew house in the background. And then you have the bottling plant, and they shipped an awful lot out in trucks, and I'm not sure whether they shipped a lot out in boxcars or maybe they didn't ship any. I do not know. This area is approximately 8 feet in length for this industry, so for end scale, it's quite a substantial industry. There you can kind of see one of the old Navy clocks. When I was in the submarine service back started in the late 70s, I had a lot of time to do not much of anything once I became qualified on submarines. So I took that time to basically build a history for my model railroading. And by the way, this stretch here, the scenery coming in, heading up to Peoria Heights, I did all this scenery, including the rock work, in just a little over an hour, as you see it now, except for the painting of the rail. But I ballasted and did kind of a basic scenery in just a little over an hour. My technique for my rock work, for years, what I've used basically is just an ordinary plaster. I used to use perlite or some form of a finish plaster, and I use just basically a tablespoon to do all my shaping and my cutting of lines and my forming of the rock surfaces. So anyway, thank you for watching.